Okay.
We are debating that the cultural, racial, and socioeconomic differences that exist within the classroom should shape the teaching philosophies and practice to guidance. As Carol Weinstein wrote, we must recognize that we are all cultural beings with our own beliefs, biases, and assumptions about human behavior. We should be taking into consideration these differences when educating children because there is an indisputable evidence to support the fact that a culturally responsive classroom where teachers draw lessons from students' real-life experiences and teach to each student's individual needs gains better results, not only in test scores, but also in their educational experiences.
As Delpit wrote in the Science Dialogue, children from middle-class homes do better in school than those from non-middle-class homes, because the culture of the school is based on the culture of the upper and middle classes of those in power. This proves that in order to teach all of our students, we must adjust the culture of our classrooms in order to invite students who do not belong to the culture of power, the upper middle class, to learn the language of power and become powerful students and individuals. Delpit also wrote, "It does not mean separating children according to family background, but instead ensuring that each classroom incorporates strategies appropriate for all the children as confines." Delpit is not saying that we're offering basic skills approaches to teaching those with different backgrounds or viewing them as incapable of higher learning critical thinking. Rather, Delpit is saying that instead of separating children based on their differing backgrounds, we are ensuring that classrooms have incorporated strategies appropriate and fitting for everyone. The strategies and teaching methods implemented will be for the benefit of all, for there is no separation, but rather an interdisciplinary method of teaching that will reach every student.
Dakar wrote in Hearing the Silence Dialogue, scholars in the field, a multicultural education movement, have documented that teachers are more effective when they provide cultural connections to the curriculum, draw on student cultures in their teaching styles, and address the struggles that their students face. If we teach more successful when drawing on students' individual cultural experiences, then how can you argue that we should not be taking individual differences into account when creating the practice philosophy? You are arguing then for poor and ineffective teaching practices.
Weinstein, Curran, and Tolman-Linson-Clark wrote in Culturally Responsive Classroom Management that white middle-class ways define what is appropriate and valued in our school. They, the teachers, understand that this status comes from the power of the white middle-class group. By encompassing the values of the white middle class and excluding the values of other cultures, socioeconomic statuses, classes, races, etc., we are devaluing their importance within our society and perpetuating racism, classism, heterosexism, etc. Also, they state that we must recognize that we are all cultural beings with our own beliefs, biases, and assumptions about human behavior. Calls for culturally relevant pedagogy, and culturally responsive teaching. Address the need for teachers to develop the knowledge, skills, predispositions to teach children from diverse racial, ethnic, language, and social class backgrounds. By teachers acquiring this cultural content knowledge of students, they are not categorizing, marginalizing, or stereotyping students, but rather demonstrating a willingness to learn about aspects of a student's culture and how to best use this knowledge in the classroom. Teachers who are culturally responsive manage to recognize their biases and values. They reflect on how these affect their interactions with students. By being responsive to culture in the classroom, teachers are showing that the ultimate goal is not compliance and control, but rather equal opportunities for learning for students from all spectrums of